What makes me a good Junkrat player? If I were a bad Junkrat player, I wouldn't be sitting here making this video for you, now would I? Junkrat is one of my favorite classes in Overwatch, and that's because I played a lot of Bomberman in Team Fortress 2, and that was just a given that I'd want to play Junkrat. Now, I'm not the best Junkrat, probably never will be the best Junkrat. I still have my problems when I play. Sometimes I get disappointed with myself. But there's some things I try to remember when I'm trying to get better at Junkrat or to practice him. So, for anybody that wants to try to main Junkrat a little bit, here's 5 tips to help you get further in being able to play Junkrat effectively. Now, the first step is don't only main Junkrat. And that might seem contrary to what this video is supposed to be, but hear me out. Junkrat's not a good character to main only. There may be some characters, such as like a support, a tank, or maybe a offense class, not Genji. Do not main only Genji. But, you know, Junkrat would not be one that you would be wanting to only main. Now, you will have to play him a lot to get better at him, but just know that you have to be better at other classes other than Junkrat, because Junkrat is very unreliable. Even with his ultimate buff, he can still be very unreliable. And going in, being able to play one of each class, and I've stressed this many times, you have to play at least one of each of the different types of heroes, an attack, an offense, a defense, or whatever, all these different ones, not just one. And, you know, it'd be great, because if you go play competitive and you only know how to play Junkrat, then you're not going to be very good for the team. Unless you're somehow getting 50 frags per game for Junkrat, which is very difficult. For me, I'm very good at playing like Roadhog, Reinhardt, Zenyatta, Lucio, and I have a little bit of Pharah to be able to play. And I've been working on Torbjorn because he's about to get a nice buff. So don't only play Junkrat. Play other things, but play Junkrat a lot as well. Tip number 2 is to learn his uses. Junkrat has his uses, and he has his non-uses. For instance, you have to know how much damage he does, and where to place his traps. Without knowing exactly how much you could probably be doing to a player, or where to properly place your traps to catch somebody off guard, would not be working in your favor. Knowing that maybe his concussion grenade does 120 damage with no fallout, as long as you get hit by the explosion, no matter where, would be something that you could use effectively. You also have to know that he's terrible versus things like Zarya, Pharah, snipers. Versus Zarya, it's very easy to build her charge up. For Pharah, it's really hard to 1v1 a Pharah effectively. You're better off being a hit scan class to take out Pharah. Snipers, it's very hard to take out Sniper because you have to be close range to be effective with Junkrat, or medium range, if rather. You also have to know what attacking places and what defensive places you have to be using Junkrat on, or can use Junkrat on. Things like, on attack, you can use it in Hanamura, or Eichenwald, or the second part of Temple of Anubis. These places are pretty good for Junkrat on attack. And there's some places on defense that are not really good for Junkrat, such as an open air place like Nubani. He has some effectiveness in some of the side areas, but he's not very effective on the main area. You also have to know that he can counter some things, and he's great at tank busting. Not so much Zarya, but you can take out Roadhog, you can take out shields extremely easy. And you can easily take out squishies like some Mercy, Zenyatta, and other things with a couple of well-placed shots. And, you know, also remember to not spam whenever you have like a good healer. Because if you don't hit your shots all the time, you just throw a little bit of damage, that's building ult for the healer, and you don't want to do that. So take all these things into account, and you can do very good with them. Tip number 3 will be keep calm and predict. Contrary to the personality of Junkrat, you can't be as crazy as he is. Constantly trying to flick and just shooting wherever is something that you can't do. You can't do that for any class. You have to be calm about it, and you have to focus on where you're going to be shooting. Predictions are needed to be good at Junkrat. You have to know where to shoot at. If you're just gonna blindly shoot all of your grenades in the direction of an enemy, you might kill him. You have a fairly decent chance of killing someone if they don't know how to dodge Junkrat spam. But you'd be more effective if someone gets into close or medium range to shoot in a direction that they might be walking, or in a direction that you could, like, play mind games with them to hit them. And, you know, always keep calm, because being extremely crazy does not do anything for your aim. Having shaky hands and constantly shaking your mouse around to shoot does not help you win games. Tip number 4 will be an expansion of something I mentioned in tip number 2. Careful with your spam. Like I had said, ult building for the enemy is a big no-no. If you shoot it and only do a little bit of damage, that means that the Mercy, Zenyatta, or Lucio can build their ult much, much faster. If you're able to hit all your shots and kill them very quickly, then you become very effective. And of course, don't spam the Zarya shields like I said before. 4 shots that hit the shield directly, instant 100% for Zarya, which is extremely easy to kill to wipe your team in some cases if they don't know how to fight it. So careful with your spam, please. The final tip for the day is an obvious one: practice. You have to practice for any class. Practice makes perfect. For things, you can use the custom game mode to create your own method of practicing, such as maybe having a couple of medium or hard bots that you have to fight, maybe a 1v1 fight thing. But, you know, also you could have somebody else. If somebody else wants to practice with Junkrat, there's been a thing in Team Fortress 2 called MGE, which is basically a 1v1 first person 20. You could do a similar thing in Overwatch with custom games. Set it to skirmish, keep score, and whenever you and have somebody else that wants to practice Junkrat fight you. So just 1v1 with Junkrat. And then these things can help you get better at Junkrat. Now this won't be all the things you have to know for Junkrat. There's plenty of different things you have to consider. We could go in depth into each one of these things, about his damages, maybe talk about his ultimate, how to use that, the predictions, and how to use spam more properly than I vaguely referenced in this. And those are things I might talk about in another video, but just take these 5 steps to start out practicing for Junkrat. These are things that you're going to have to learn at first hand, and probably a couple more things I left off, but you know, learn these things. These will help you in a long run. These have helped me be a decent Junkrat. So take that for what you will. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been HR Prime. Thanks for your time. God bless, and happy gaming.